Aerith is a fan-favorite character beloved by all in both the 1997 release as well as the remake. She is charming, kind, beautiful, and selfless. She embodies so many positive traits that even just listing them would take a good chunk of time. Unfortunately, her death at the hands of the villainous Sephiroth is all but inevitable. Or is it? Because with the Whispers now gone, hopefully for good, and with Aerith and Sephiroth both retaining their memories from the original game, there is now a high probability that we see a change this time around. Perhaps we see another character meet their untimely demise. Someone like Cloud, for example. Hi there, welcome back to Kayfie's Corner, where today we're going to discuss all the evidence that points to Aerith's possible survival, and whether or not we could see Cloud, or another character, bite the dust instead. I'm joined today by my good friend Globos Heckley, who has worked retail in the gaming industry for 13 years now. Say hi, Globos.
Hello.
Alright, so I wanted to start at the Hollow FF7 song, which is kind of like the theme song to the first Remake game. There's a few lyrics I just wanted to list off and kind of get your opinion on it in terms of Aerith's death.
Okay.
So, the chorus goes, "Shine bright once more. Guide me to you. Smile bright once more. This time, I will never let you go." They say this time and once more a fair bit.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, is that Cloud saying I'm not going to let you go? Or is that going to be Aerith talking to Zack saying I'm not going to let you die this time? Or, I don't know.
That's fair, because, I mean, a lot of people did originally interpret it as maybe an Aerith and Zack song. However, it has been confirmed that the song is said from Cloud's perspective, but that's all the clues they want to give us.
That's too vague.
It just, to me, it seems that he's saying, if I can do things differently, I would go back in time and do everything I possibly could to save you. Even if it means risking his own life, which is why I think we could see Cloud die.
I mean, yeah, we could see Cloud die. You and I were talking earlier about potentially, timelines converge. What if the different versions of Cloud become one, so he remembers his past as well? Like, Aerith's death could mean her spirit's already been in the life stream and is combined with this one, which is why she knows what she does. So who's to say Cloud doesn't merge with his alternate self too?
That would be interesting, because he wouldn't have as much PTSD, I guess, if because he would remember his past self. Or maybe he'd have more PTSD. I don't know how that works. Like, if he remembers all the stuff about Sephiroth and Tifa in his childhood.
I would say that depends on if they include his memories from Advent Children or not.
Yeah.
Because if he's remembering everything up to and including that could be... I mean, he's more confident, he's more powerful, because even in Advent Children, they're like... Everyone else was standing back, being like, Cloud's the only one that can do this, because he's reached a whole new level that we can't touch. So...
Power level of 9,000.
Potentially, I mean, it could be... If he merges with his other self, he could save Aerith without dying himself.
That would be interesting. One thing that I was wondering was, with Zack now here, do you think we're going to see two Clouds? Because we're not sure which timeline Zack is in, and he was carrying a Cloud past Aerith and the real Cloud that we know.
It looked like he was more dragging Cloud with him. Like, talking to him as if, don't worry, Cloud, I'm going to save you. I'm going to get you to someone who can save you. Initially watching that, I was thinking Cloud was dead. And even rewatching it, it still feels like he's on the brink of death. Like, he might be dragging his feet and taking the odd step, but his head was so limp that just... I don't know. I think he might be dead in that one. So maybe we're looking at a third timeline?
That would be very unique, but I do agree with that assessment. Like, that's not the first time I watched it, I didn't think that Cloud was dead, to be honest with you. But now that you're saying it, when he's dragging him past, you don't see his eyes open, not even once. Like, so yeah, it could just be Zack saying, Cloud, we're gonna get through this, but if that Cloud isn't even alive. That would add some intrigue to Zack's character development for sure.
Yeah, very much.
What do you think about Zack maybe sacrificing himself for Aerith?
I mean, I think it really depends on how they're doing this. If it is multiple timelines, like, yeah, I could see Zack being selfless and he'd be the one dying instead of Aerith. I mean, there's so many possibilities. Like, what if in every timeline there's certain characters that died and then they all merge together in one timeline to save all timelines?
Ooh, so like you're saying, like, Barrett dies in maybe the remake timeline, but he's alive in, like, Zack's timeline, so they all kind of, like, by the end of the game, you'd still have all the characters, kind of.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just pulled from different timelines, and maybe nothing from the original except, merging memories more than anything.
Yes, because it does seem that Aerith and Sephiroth, as well as Red 13 actually, know the circumstances of the original game and of Aerith's actual death. Which kind of brings me to my next point. I don't think the circumstances of Aerith's death will play out exactly the same way, because, well, for two reasons. One, Aerith knows that she goes and she prays and gets stabbed, and Sephiroth knows he goes there to stab her. Mm-hmm. They both have their memories, so it's just like, why would they put themselves in that same position?
Yeah, that makes sense. They'd find another way to do battle, or for him to take out Aerith, or maybe it ends up being they stop him.
I could totally see them doing a fake out. So, like, them doing the scene where Aerith is praying, Sephiroth's coming down, and then you see, like, Cloud or Zack come in and block it with their Buster Sword.
Or who knows, maybe both at the same time.
That would be pretty cool as well. And if we see something like that, and it's a potential fake out for the death, that would actually worry me. Not seeing Aerith die at that part would probably worry me more, because I would feel that they're going to do another, just something to hit home hard, as in maybe killing off another character.
Well, just like they teased another certain character's death halfway through this game, it could easily be something like that. I mean, as far as we know, the shadows, whispers, whatever you want to call them, They're gone, but maybe they're not, and maybe they'll be back to save people's lives again, and maybe it ends up being that they kill Aerith instead.
That's true, because they would certainly have it in for Aerith, because they want to keep things the same way as the original timeline. Like, they wouldn't even let Barrett die when he got stabbed at the end of the game, because Sephiroth outright stabbed Barrett, and the Whispers are like, nope, this death ain't happening.
I was trying to keep spoiler-free, but fine.
Well, I think if they're listening to this podcast about an Aerith death... I actually think that we could see another character meet their demise. In the Yuffie Integrate DLC, which I don't want to get too much into because not everyone owns PlayStation 5, but I think we could potentially see in the future Yuffie being dead. As in Sephiroth kills Yuffie.
It's a possibility. Yuffie, with the expansion, Yuffie's definitely become more than just a side character, an optional character. So, yeah, it could end up being that Yuffie dies instead.
There was a part in the intermission, I don't want to spoil it, but I actually thought they were going to kill off Yuffie. I was ready for it. I was like, holy crap, they're going to... No, they're not. Okay. And then I was happy. But... Fake out, exactly. Just the ways that they can go with this. Oh. So I guess... I think that's a good point to end it, because we have Cloud and Zack and Aerith and Yuffie potentially being goners instead of Aerith. My question is, let's assume Aerith survives. What percentage would you give for Cloud dying? We're assuming Aerith survives.
I'd say 50-50, to be honest.
As in 50% you think it's Cloud, 50% another character, or the other 50% is nobody dying?
I would say 50% Cloud, 50% someone else. I think they're going to still find a way to kill someone instead of Aerith, but they'll do a fake out at the very least. Go to kill Aerith and then somebody else dies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best bet right now for Remake Part 2. I really think that's what we'll see.
And with knowing that Zack is out there in some capacity, I feel like they'll temporarily kill off Cloud. In some shape or form, he'll come back. whether it's another timeline again or something. If they kill off Cloud, he's not off the table.
Interesting. I do recall you having a theory about maybe since this is like the better timeline, Aerith or somebody could find a way to potentially resurrect a dead character, like this time around.
Being the last ancient, who knows? Maybe she'll find a way through memory or something that there's a way to bring someone back.
Yeah, as the last living Cetra, the last living ancient, if anybody can, it's Aerith, and that's why Sephiroth took her out.
Or maybe they'll just remember they have a revive materia and bring them back.
Oh. Well, I'm curious as to your predictions. What do you think will happen in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? Do you think Aerith will die, or do you think that that's too obvious and that someone else is going to bite the dust instead? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe on your way out. I was joined today by Globos Heckley.
That's me.
And my name is Keifi. We're wishing you a fantastic day, and happy gaming.